No, I am at Aiden also watching how to get set up for a Twitch channel. All right, bro. Well, I'm probably gonna be over there for a little bit, so I said, shukran, like you said. Who's that? What's up, Gooch? Where'd you get this one from?
Well, hi, I'm here to do some readings today. And so I'm going to start with just doing a general reading and getting this table warmed up. And if you'd like to come into the chat room and ask for a reading, that's what I was planning to do today, was to give out a few simple readings, probably just do, pull two, maybe three cards a person and talk about that and see what it has to say. And if you're listening and the card relates to you, then the message was meant for you too, because that's how the universe works. Is, you don't chime in to ask, but you're interested. It may be there to give you a message also. So we'll just see how that goes. Oh, the Magician. Looks like it's going to be a magical day today. So, you can do just about anything that you can and want to take charge of in your life. You are your magic. So be your magic and take charge. Create who you want to be, create yourself, and create the world that you want to be in. If you want to make changes, you have to make them yourself. So you need to be your own magic. And the more magic you create for yourself, the more magic that will come to you. The thing that supports that idea today is the reaction. How do you react to it? Are you reacting in a magical way? Are you reacting in a way that's moving yourself forward? Or are you reacting in a way that's going to hold you back? And that's what the magician and these two cards have in common with each other. Is they're really telling you that. Let's see, is it easier? Nope, nope, that's good that way. That you can do anything. And so be what you need to be. It is actually less stressful to create who you are and who you want to be than it is to go with the flow. If you just go with the flow, you're never comfortable with what you're doing. And so if you start creating who you want to be and what you want to be, then things start flowing better in your life. And you don't push against it, you don't pull towards it, you allow it to happen. Allow the magic to unfold in your life. And that's what I see here with the magician. Today I'm using a fairy deck, which I really love. It's got very magical pictures. I've always had a lot of fairies in and around my life, but moreover, I normally work with the angels. The angels are the ones that come through and help me, guide me, and help with my messages coming through pure, clean, and strong, and bringing each of you clarity for the time that I'm allowed to read for you. So reactions are very important, though. We have to watch ourselves in our reactions. Not overreacting, not underreacting. I have a big thing about being in balance and being a little uh, not not being to the extremes, because that actually is not in balance. Even if you're, very emotional on one side and very calm and caring and peaceful on the other, the and this unfolds throughout a 24-hour period. That's actually very extreme. So what we really want is we want it's like a sine wave. A sine wave goes up and down to the high point, to the low point, to the high point, to the low point. What we really want in life is a vibrational pole that is more like a calm ocean that just the waves aren't as high, and the highs aren't as high of the waves, and the lows aren't as low, so that we keep a better balance in the middle. That's where we feel most calming, most comfortable, and most at peace with ourselves. So that's what we really strive for. So let me pull a couple other cards and see what they have to say, and see if that resonates with any of you. Go ahead and log in and to the chat room and ask if you're serious about getting a message. I've had people log in and chat that really weren't serious, and I'd really appreciate if those people didn't come around. So you know how that is. All right, let's pull this one from in here, and let's pull this one from here. Let's hope it's not the same message. Sometimes the same message comes through because it thinks you didn't respond. So now we have the Three of Summer. And Three of Summer tells us that let's see. I think this is actually an air card. So the Three of Air tells us that here, the Three of Summer tells us that news worth celebrating. So for us, there is news worth celebrating that's coming along. We usually share this with a group of friends. I see them playing in the water with their friends, that this is a noteworthy celebrating. That announcements such as types of weddings, graduations, or births may be coming along, and that this is a good time for those things to happen for us, and that some type of news is going to come to us. It probably is not about ourselves. It looks like it'll be an announcement that somebody else will tell us. So that's always fun to be involved in those things, or to know that maybe you're having a grandbaby or something like that is always a great joy. Relatives getting married because you know they're a good match for each other. So that's what this card is about, is celebrations, that there's going to be told about a celebration coming along. And looks like you may be at the center of it. That's what this is saying, that there is some celebrations coming along and that you are going to be at the center of it. This is a beautiful card. She is just exquisite in her appearance. The artwork on these cards are just amazing. This is the Sacred Earth Oracle deck. It's by Tony Carmine Salerno and Leela Williams. And it is just one of the most beautiful artwork on the deck that I have ever seen. I'm just really pleased with it. The energies are so wonderful. And, you know, she's looking at you with these very focused eyes. And she also has a type of lotus flower on her head, which is, you know, connecting her with divine messages and opening up of her whole pineal gland and opening up to messages and being the center of, sometimes when you center yourself, you receive your greatest messages, and other times you it is being the center. I mean, this could, since it's about a celebration, could really mean that you will be the center of a celebration, which I kind of can resonate with that. That's something coming up, and I'm not really expecting much of a celebration, but you never know. Um, but this is a beautiful card, and we have the opportunity to enjoy these today. So there should be some celebrations coming up, and you will be part of the center of that celebration, whether it be putting it on or the one that it's for. You just don't know. All right, let's go ahead and pull another card here and see what else they might want to tell us. All right, neighbors are starting up. This is the Prince of Spring, and it's about having self-confidence, about being charming, about being passionate about oneself. It also, being the prince, has to do with a bit of restlessness. And teenage boy across the street can be a little restless. We can hear his motorcycle starting up. But this might take, this is also a card that means that you need to take immediate action. And that that if you do, that you can manage things in a successful way. It can also mean a passionate relationship. So this card actually can mean a lot. But as the Prince of Spring, think about what that card means to you. Being a prince, you're young, you're virile, you're ready to go. You want new adventures, to learn new things. In the spring, we open up and bring ourselves out and put ourselves out there. And so, being the Prince of Spring, there may be new challenges and different successes. Teenage across the street, see him with his board, must be going up to the beach. I am here in Oahu, in Hawaii, in a little town called Makaha. I live almost towards I live on the far west side, almost to the end of the road. I'm about maybe 10, 15 miles from the end of the road where my house is. So live in a very colorful, beautiful, flavorful, energetic place. And in fact, maybe in a week or two, I'll go out and take some pictures and figure out how to put some pictures up. Because the spiritual stories on this end of the island is the spiritual story the short version is, not version, but just sentence is that the west side, a little further up at Kiana Point, is where spirits that have passed leave the island and go back to join their relatives. It is where the Eva leave the island. Or Eve, excuse me, I said that wrong. Eva, it means something else. That means unstructured boundary. Evi is the spirits that have gone before us and the spirits that have just passed. So they actually go to the end of the island, as well as those suffering with anguish. And that's where they depart into the sea off the island. But, maybe one day I'll do a show specifically on that and tell you a little bit more about that story. Because there's many stories here on Hawaii. And that is what they call them, their stories. And so someday, when I know the story better and can share it with you more clearly, as well as maybe being able to share some pictures, I will do that. The next card I have is the Four of Spring. And so this is being distracted, and I think I kind of just got distracted with what I just was telling you, but that's okay. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I resonated with what I said on the Prince of Spring and feeling that immediate action needed. And anyway, part of that's managing ourselves. The next thing I have, though, is being distracted and failing to see the magical opportunities. And I will say the first card I pulled today was the Magician. And so that's about having magical properties. And I always notice that when I pull cards, there does seem to be quite a theme with them, with what needs to be done and what the messages are. And today, actually, the theme kind of looks like about being magic. And, if a prince, being a prince of spring and being young and vivacious and looking for adventures is actually a very magical time in our lives. And whether you're a prince or a princess or anything in between, the spring and being in our beginning in adult youth age of our lives is a very exciting and adventurous time. And so that to me has a lot to do with magical time in one's life. And so I see a lot of magical opportunities coming up. And unfortunately, we take a lot of things for granted. So really, don't be discontent with your life. Open up to the magic of your life, and that can be brought forward. The thing that will support this, whoa, I didn't shuffle that one. I must have just put it on top. It's had the same card again. The other thing that supports that is coming into clarity. I pulled two. Coming into clarity and finding your own balance, which are always important. I was actually just talking about balance a couple of minutes ago when I was talking about that vibration of being pulled one way and pulled the other. I guess I kind of should have left those cards up. But being in balance and not having that vibration go from one end to the other too far. Excuse me. My throat's dry. So, finding our own balance. And that can be anything. It's, there's some things that are in perfect balance in our life, and there'll just be one little area that isn't working for us. And so with that, we just kind of actually send good energy to it, and it's often will pull out that balance of what you need. Also, we need to look for clarity. So if you're being distracted or you're falling into and you're missing you're failing to see maybe a magical opportunity. Maybe you need to look at things with more clarity and find out what the clarity is that you need to bring to yourself and what you can discern out of your life for that, so that you can have a wonderful adventure and bring balance into your life. Adventures do bring balance into our lives for the simple fact that they help teach us about ourselves. And by I'm sorry, I've got a cat playing in the house and running at the door. I don't know what he's running at. She's running at. So anyway, bringing things into clarity can certainly help discern us into what we really want in life. And then we can really adventure off and find out what that is more for ourselves. Let's see what else we've got. Ace of Winter says, don't be deterred by challenges. They may come along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So that tells me that, with the magic that's been going on with the cards that I've been pulling today, and I really love this card. I just, her outfit to me just speaks to me. And her wings, she looks like a butterfly in the winter. And her snow leopard is just beautiful, and the magic that's all around her. And actually, there's been so many cards that have come up today that are magical. So I really feel that's actually the theme that our guides are sending us on today, is to find the magic in our lives, find the magic in ourselves, because that's where it is. It's not out. Nothing is outside of you. You can't go out looking for things. All that you need is really within you. You just have to figure out how to pull that out, which often can be very, very hard, very hard. And doing this is sometimes being dependable. So being dependable, and that is be dependable to yourself. We let ourselves down a lot, and it's important to be dependable to yourself. This is another really beautiful card. A male and a female. And the interesting part is they both have an eye on the side of their head. And at first, I thought they were the same shape, which would reference that it is a scene that they're both seeing through the same eyes. But as you see, they're not. The eyes are different. So they have different visions within themselves. But they can still depend on each other because they both have visions and they're both looking towards.
Is there a way to reverse the words on the cards? Because when we see it on the camera, it's
Is it? You know, I futzed with that earlier. I think, just a minute, let me figure things out. I have my technical crew letting me know some things aren't working out well.
they're well. We just
How did I do this? There we go. Oh, and you know what? That might have fixed a lot of things. I was having trouble setting up earlier.
I just go with it.
Oh, that might have done what I needed it to do. Woohoo! All right. Does that work better? Like I said, I have a technical crew in the background that goes in and looks and makes sure everything's hunky-dory. There we go. That's a little more square. Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, no, it isn't. Screen's right in front of my face. Hang on. Oh, that's still in front of my face. Oh, sorry for the technical difficulties here today. Still getting used to doing this. Does that work? All right. All right. Well, we'll go with it until unless my crew comes out and says, nah, nah, nah. Switch it back. Do something different. Then I will. So there we go. Being dependable with each other, being intertwined in each other's lives is also something that they're sharing today, is that we depend on one another. It's very hard to do things, even though, I just said, hello, I'm contradicting myself. Even though I had just said everything you need is within you, there is also times when we need to work with others, and we need to find people and be the person that others can depend on, and help find people in our lives that are also dependable. And that's what this card is talking about. But it's also saying don't be deterred by the challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly with your needs and your wants, and accurately how you feel that should play out. And make sure that any amazing new ideas, that you make sure that you implement them. And part of implementing them is also being dependable. Like I said, dependability isn't always being dependent on someone else, but being dependent on yourself. And so I just got a good thumb that you guys can see what I'm doing now, which kind of helps. All right, so let's see what else we got for today. Wonder if they'll stick on the magical tour or if they'll tell us something else. It's always fun to do this and see what messages they have for us today. The Six of Spring, wonderful news, it's on its way, which is really funny because we also had the Four of... Nope. It was... Anyway, we had another card that said that there was something coming up. That's what it was. Immediate. Oh, it was in the beginning. A card that I didn't keep up. It was that they were having an event. There was going to be a marriage or birth announcement or engagement announcement or something like that. And so now this is also wonderful news is on its way. So make some smart choices that bring rewards and success and public recognition. To support that, we have rediscovery. So some of life is rediscovering ourselves. So some of this wonderful news may be rediscovering something that was in our past that we have let go or haven't hung on to, and that we need to go back and rediscover and bring forward about ourselves. And this may be bring you some success or recognition. And so really what I see with what I've been pulling so far is that you need to look at the magic within ourselves and in our lives and that which is around us. We need to look towards things to find balance within ourselves and with what we're doing. We need to find the clarity that works well with that. Don't be deterred from different challenges that come along. Make sure that that you're not failing to miss any of the magical opportunities that are coming for you, and that that good things are on its way, and that smart choices will actually bring great rewards. And sometimes we need to step back and rediscover ourselves to find this out within us, and see what is happening with us. I'm trying to look at my things going on here. Aha. Okay. And so, I'm kind of seeing, just maybe 2 or 3 small messages really that are coming through today. And like I said, those are rediscovering ourselves and keeping ourselves in balance, finding our own clarity, being dependable, and that, there's going to be good news and announcements. There's going to be some type of recognition in that for us, that the event that's going to happen is going to be about us, because remember, it was what the card, I forget exactly what the card was, but it was about being about the one person that I'm reading for. So this message is going to be about you, that successful news and wonderful things that are going to be on their way, and they may even bring success and public recognition. So let's pull 2 last cards and see what those have to say for us, and see what they would like us. Let's see, what should we ask? Let's ask, because they've given us the messages of what's going on. We just have to be really clear about what we're seeing. So let's ask how soon these events are going to happen. I think that's fair. Let's ask how soon. I pulled release. So it's the how soon is when we let go of the past. An ending. We're going to have to end a situation to create a new situation, and looks like it's right now, because this card here says it is time to move on. So it sounds like it's pretty immediate. We need to release those things that are holding us back from moving forward to be our true self, moving us forward into discovering the new success, in discovering creative announcements that are going to be about us, and also finding success and wonderful recognition through that. We must find ourselves in clarity and balance to do that. And in order for all of this to come to fruition, we have to find it in our core, which is one of the things I said in the very beginning of this reading, that everything is within us. So if we want to find the magic, and we want to hear wonderful announcements, we want to see ourselves and know that we are a great success, that we find clarity and balance in ourselves, we need to release those things from our past that are holding us back. It's time to move on. We have new opportunities. Something over here also said, don't miss those opportunities. Don't ignore them when they come through. And we know all this in our core. It is not outside of us. What we need is inside of us. And we just need to find it in our core and pull it out. It is very hard to do sometimes, but we have to sometimes get past our own enemy, which is ourselves, our own worst enemy, which is ourselves, because we have a tendency to doubt ourselves, hold ourselves back. And I found this is very true in my life, and that's why I'm doing this show. I'm putting myself out there. I'm finding new things. I'm looking for new great success. I'm ready to release all the things of the past that have been holding me back. It is time for me to end any of those things that were holding me back and make way for new opportunities, because now it is time for me to move on, and I know this in my core. And that's my reading for today, and I hope that resonates with all of you, and I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Thanks for coming. Bye. Aloha. I'd like to share a little bit of my backyard. I'm here in beautiful Oahu. It's a bit of our garden. And I'm out. Peace out. Aloha. Mahalo for coming.